Welcome to the Spring 2021 UAT Awards ceremony. Let's take just a moment and give ourselves a round of applause. We all deserve a round of applause. Faculty, students, staff of UAT, please just take a moment. So 2021 started strong, seems to be flying by. I can't personally believe that tomorrow is May 1st. It seems like before we know it, it'll be Christmas again, which is one of my favorite times of the year. But we celebrated our 1-year anniversary in remote facilitation. Weekend jams have become a normal occurrence. Faculty are frequently giving valuable talks on their experiences or cool trends in the tech industry. You can often find students throwing water balloons at one another, LARPing in the quad, and clubs are getting back into action. Alumni are back on campus, so it's pretty exciting. Despite the ups and downs of the pandemic, every member of the UAT family has contributed to ensuring that we are thriving, that you are all thriving, so that everyone can continue to do what everyone loves to do: work in tech, build tech, teaching tech, innovating, whatever it may be. We have never settled with or accepted the constraints of the pandemic. So kudos to all of you for rising above and expanding barriers. We are all so proud of the accomplishments of UAT students, alumni, staff, and faculty. Personally, I can't wait to start seeing more faces around campus in the summer semester and even more in the fall semester. If you're here, you'll notice campus operations is busy creating a few new cool spaces for everyone to enjoy in the fall. For now, let's take a few moments to recognize just a few of the amazing humans that have walked the halls physically and virtually of UAT. Geek Row. As you know, Geek Row is the Student Activities Council. They are a voice for the students. If you're interested in becoming a part of Geek Row, there's the email address. Please send them a message and let them know how you'd like to get involved. Our Geek Row president, Jake Fusco, also here in the theater as our Price is Right showgirl for the awards. Excel leader, Candy Alexander, event coordinator, Vanessa Adams, and our club coordinator, Samantha Jaros. Founders Hall resident assistants. As you know, the RAs are constantly on campus supporting students, staff, faculty, creating events, and just directing and guiding traffic as people have questions or confused as to where to go. Our RAs this semester, Jake Fusco, Candy Alexander, Alec Carter, and Christina Harris joined the team in the middle of the semester. Thank you guys for all of your work that you do over at Founders Hall and on campus at UAT. Student tutors. So we have student tutors on campus for various programs. Right now, we have one that is graduating. His name is Bradley Chavez. Ashley is out of the office on maternity leave, but she didn't want to make sure that I shared some feelings on Bradley. And she says he is one of the most genuinely helpful humans. He's always considering the needs of others and going out of his way to support his peers. His helpful nature, coupled with his brilliant mind, have made him a huge asset to the network security program here, and we will miss his positive attitude. His brilliance and positive nature also helped lead the CCDC team to great success this year, earning 4th place overall. Congratulations, Bradley, on your graduation, and thank you for everything that you've done to support your peers at UAT through tutoring. So now we've got the Production Studio Game Studios Awards that are going to be presented by Professor Derek Clark. Derek, are you available?
Yep, I'm here. All right, I'll kind of do what Brandy did and just kind of give a big shout out to everybody who's involved in production studio. So obviously the students, the faculty, we have alumni that comes back, we have external constituents, and everybody at UAT that supports what we do. But one thing we do like to call out is our leads. So each project has a student lead that basically runs the project for us and interfaces with all of those other constituents to make sure the project is moving forward. They take on a huge challenge and it is very much appreciated. So we would like to acknowledge them today. So let's go ahead and go to the first one. First, we have Mascot Heroes and Elijah. Brad, do you want to give me a brief sentence on your experience with Elijah?
Absolutely, yeah. Elijah joined the team as lead relatively early in his time in studio, and his organizational skills and just sort of go get it attitude really shows through. And I really do feel like the lead role is something that a lot of people can definitely have a natural talent for, and Elijah's one of those people. He really showed his skills.
Absolutely. Next, we have Kalana Lee for, oh, no, sorry, Reign and Rebellion. My list is different. Ethan Dean, Lynn or Brad, which one of you is going to give us a little blurb about Ethan?
I'll take that one. Thank you. Ethan Dean has actually been a tremendous lead for Reign and Rebellion, and that's with an N. Uh, he actually is getting some tutoring from Doug Doan, an industry professional that has been with us for quite some time now, a few years. Was so impressed with what we do in studio, he enrolled his own son at UAT. He's coaching Ethan through the leadership process of game development, and now wants to take him a step further into the ownership role. So just a shout out to all the students who are here. He's also looking for a lead for the project for next semester. Ethan, fantastic job. He wanted to be here, but he has a fire of his own to put out. He is a professional Scrum Master at this point as well. And so he will probably catch up with you. Ethan has done a fantastic job with keeping his team positive. He's one of the more positive leaders that we have in studio, keeping them going forward through a number of hurdles this semester. And we just want to give you a round of applause for everything that you faced, and you're ending the semester on a positive note. So congratulations, Ethan.
Thanks, Lynn. All right, next we have Cursed Harvest. And we actually have an interesting way we ran this project. We had an alumni who has been a lead in the studio before bring us this project as an opportunity to work with some industry people on this project. And so Jacqueline Bartlett has been a lead, but as an alumni is still giving back to UAT. And her guidance and mentorship of the other Cursed Harvest lead has been invaluable. So thank you, Jacqueline. And then after that, we have James, who was the student lead on Cursed Harvest. Brad, Lynn, who wants to talk about James?
I'll take that one. So James, I joined the team and just to help out, and James was doing an excellent job. And it's the first thing I noticed, really. Game dev is not always a straight line. And keeping a team functioning successfully and marching all in the same direction is a huge quality, and that's something that James has in spades. He's really a natural leader, and he's done an excellent job.
Awesome, thanks, Brad. And then the last one, we didn't build a slide for because this group has been such a force inside a studio that I wanted to just take a moment to acknowledge both the team, but the leadership group and the current lead of this project. You've probably heard of it. It is Escape Room. Kwana Lee is the current lead. It has been great to see this group decide not only to keep working and to mentor other leads, but to also not just have one person stick and be like, you know what, I'm the lead of this project, so I don't want to give anybody that experience. So I want to thank all of the leads over the multiple semesters of Escape Room. But in particular, I want to talk about Kalana lead as a lead here. One of the things that I like and hate about this particular individual is he has so much passion for his team that he'll do anything to help them out. Sometimes sticking his nose into things he probably shouldn't, but that's okay. I would rather deal with that problem than somebody who doesn't care. So want to thank everybody on that team, everybody who's been a lead on that team, for not only leading a really, really cool project, but for also taking your time to mentor all the other leads in studio and all the other participants in studio. It has been much appreciated, and that will wrap us up, I believe.
Does. Thank you. Congratulations to everybody working on game studios and different projects in there. Next up, we've got Dr. Mark Smith with the Tech Studio Production Studio leads. Dr. Smith?
Yep, I'm here. All right, so yeah, we had three lovely ladies pretty much leading the main projects that have been in my studio for quite some time. The first and one that's been kind of being pushed through and is getting really, really close to full completion and launch is Reach Your Rainbow. with Aubrey Dahl. She's actually an alum now, but still comes back to mentor her project and help it along, which is great. And hopefully we can continue it on because it's become such a popular project in the production studio, and it's kind of taken on its own life of its own in there. So she's done a fantastic job. Product placement at home, which has a new name. Samantha came with this idea of like a few semesters back, but has really been honing it in and kind of like figuring it out as we go with this, because it's a very versatile and interesting marketing-based project. But she's done a fantastic job of keeping her team in line and keeping that going through production studio, and we most likely will be keeping that going as well. A lot of longevity with these projects. And then program facile with Kenna Draxon. I can't speak.
Oh my God, Kenna.
What's that? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm muted. I wasn't muted.
Yeah, you were. But yes, Kenna is. I can't speak more highly of Kenna. She's a star student here at UAT. And she's not even technically needed the production studio class, but she took on, her team is in there and she's leading them. And even with her being an alum, we're still going to probably continue that on because of the progress and the amount of leadership and versatility she brings to the table. So I'm quite impressed with my wonderful team leads, and I'm looking forward to actually continuing most of these projects through into next term as well. And they're all my majors, so very proud of them, and I couldn't speak about it. I'm very, very happy with how they've become leaders and what they do management-wise.
Thank you so much, Dr. Smith. And yes, Professor Valenzuela, girls, women in tech. Congratulations, everybody. Those are fantastic projects. Next up, some of you know we've been working on some industry projects through Perimeter 83. So I've asked JC Smith to join us from Perimeter to celebrate some of the projects that we have going on from the industry. JC, are you available?
I am, yes, thank you. So, and I'm actually in the study. So, you know, it's a little different this time. So presenting live from the study. So I just wanted to take a minute to thank the students who have been working on the Perimeter 83 projects this semester. As some of you know, it is a great opportunity for you as a student to get involved with some industry quality work as we bring projects into the university. Some of you have heard about projects running in the past, like benchmark electronics and taproot interventions. Those projects, for the most part, have graduated from UAT. So we're moving on to bigger and better things. And you'll see these projects continually roll out semester by semester. So if you want more information on how to get involved in those, please contact Student Services. I usually have an ongoing list of things that are available for you to work on. So again, for those of you that have been working on these projects, thank you so much. I know it's a different change of pace to what you're used to from, you know, working on the academic side, but we are very excited and very fortunate to have these opportunities continue to roll in for students. So two of the bigger projects that we worked on this semester, the Scorpion Repel 95 applications. It is a company based out of Gilbert, Arizona that makes a physical barrier that you can paint on the bottom of your house to keep scorpions out. So it's a new concept. So they approached us to ask if we could have some students work on video training content and also some animated videos for their company. So Trey kind of took the lead on that. And was actually out at a house recording the application of this product on a day that we had with Bryson as well. We actually had a windstorm that involved almost having a trampoline blow over the fence. So it was a very exciting set that day. But thank you, Trey, for the hard work and dedication on getting all of that content recorded and edited and back to the client. So and then one of the other projects we worked on, Fizzling Funhouse, is a concept video game that's based off of a new children's TV show based to the 2 to 5 year old audience that hasn't launched yet. What they wanted to do was take the concept of the TV show and create an interactive web-based video game. So we did get through, you know, kind of the main part of the concept of this to develop it into a game. It will be continuing into next semester. So if you know anyone that wants to work on it, let me know. We do have some openings, but Michael Rodriguez was the team lead for this project. And I can't thank him enough for keeping it together, making update videos. I know it's difficult in the pandemic to try to find a way to communicate with outside clients. Not the easiest thing, but something that we all kind of had to get used to, with everything being remote. So thank you to Michael. And also, in addition to working on Fizzling Funhouse, he also stepped up to help me make an animated commercial for the Scorpion project before the end of the semester. So we did get that back over to the client. It was a lot of fun working on some animations through different eras of fighting scorpions. So hopefully we'll have that online soon so that you all can see it. But thank you so much for your hard work this semester.
Thank you, JC. And thank you again. Congratulations to all of the production studio leads and leads for industry projects. That's great work. Congratulations. Now is the SIP showcase. Everyone worked hard on their student innovation projects. Kudos to Professor Valenzuela and Dr. Dunley for leading the charge with the SIP process and all of the presentations that happened on Tuesday. This really is the pinnacle of the experience at UAT. It's a time to showcase skills and knowledge. And like other SIP showcases, it really was a step above. It did not disappoint. Choosing a winner was no easy task. And so to present the awards today is Dr. Bowman.
Hey, everybody. So I thought it was great listening to JC talk about Mickle for a second, because, in addition to working on these outside projects, he was also presenting, he presented RetroForge, quite admirably in his ZIP presentation. And it reminded me of a story I tell all the time. It actually happened a couple days ago, where I was talking to a group of people in the community who want to work with us on our project. And they said, give me the short version of what it is to be a UAT student. And I start talking about, they talk about the experience, the 24/7 and the cafe being open all night long and the project-based thing and production studio. And I say, well, here's the thing to graduate is that you pass your classes. And they go, yeah, of course. And I say, well, then you got to do internships so we know that you know how to work in the workforce. And they go, that's cool. I like that. And then I talk about boards and I say, every student has to present, assets that kind of demonstrate that they can do the job to their professors. And they go, wow, that's actually pretty cool. And I say, yeah, then on top of that, we require each and every student to innovate. And they say, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, it's, all students are required to, to actually, take their tech, work on a team or work alone and find some solution and actually make a working version of it. And then on top of doing all this other stuff, they have to stand up in front of the community and put together a video of it, answer questions, and present it to the community. And every single time this week, absolutely included, their jaws drop. This is literally like you've got to be kidding me. Nobody does that. I mean, nobody has every single student come up with an invention on top of all this other stuff. And whenever I walk away from these moments, the industry folks are always just insanely impressed with UAT graduates for really good reason. Like everything in that step is hard, and SIP is the hardest. I mean, it's like the number of times I hear students talk about, oh my gosh, SIP takes so much time. SIP is such a thing. And I'm like, yeah, it is. That's the point, is that, you're doing something, you're climbing a pinnacle here that, nearly nobody does at the undergraduate level. And so you should all be insanely proud of you, as we are, of you and the work that you did, you presented. I mean, this is not an easy thing, and it really does set you apart from pretty much any other engineering graduate out there. And so just know that, you finished something that is incredibly impressive. And so, it's kind of gives me a lot of pride to kind of point to, what Brandy was saying, is that when we had our review of the best of shows, this was hands down the hardest best of show or best awards and whatnot of any SIP we've ever had. I mean, it took us the longest to pick it out. The margins between the people who are getting awards and those who didn't, is like wafer thin. It's the work in this event was spectacular. And I would say that I would be proud to have had anybody I know in the community sit through that presentation, because I know they would have walked away going, UAT graduates are absolutely freaking amazing. And so just know that before I talk about the awards, it's you did hard work and you should feel very, very good about it. Now, that said, we do have some awards. And so I'm going to go through a series of awards, and the first award that we give is for the best pitch. And one of the things that industry talks to us all about with SIP is that, we want They want graduates who can talk about tech in ways that gets people excited who aren't necessarily part of the engineering world. That's a key skill that we really work hard on with you so that when you leave here, you're the best at it. And so we want to celebrate, the folks who, did us a pitch that just, got people excited about about what they made, even if they had no idea about it or may not even be part of their field. And before I announce the winner, I do want to talk about a couple runners up that caught our attention. One of them is Mikkel's project, Retroforge. That was a great presentation. I mean, it was like that sort of retro, pixel art. You got us excited about it. You showed us a complete work. You had a concept that was kind of complete, and you made us really feel like, wow, you actually built something that felt like a complete application. And that is noteworthy. And you expressed that in a short period of time, and we all kind of smiled at that. The other one that was didn't win but got very, very close was Goldmania. And what was wonderful about Goldmania was, as a presentation, your sense of warmth and humor that came across in the way you delivered and the way you handed things off, and the way your team worked. It got people, just feeling an affinity for your project, and that is something you should always do going forward. And so, both of you, outstanding. Now, the winner, though. The winner created a presentation where the energy was insane. I mean, it had all the pieces. It was like the visuals were strong and powerful and unique and brought your attention to the project. The audio popped and there was things going on. And during the presentation, you spoke with incredible enthusiasm for your project at the front end, which made us go, huh? And then at the back end, during the QA sessions, you answered the questions with such intelligence that I felt like I could have put you in front of, an IGDA moment, anytime. And people said, wow, you really know your game theory. And so with that, Project Roth, Tyrese Taylor, you won Best Sit Pitch for this cycle. Congratulations. All right. So next award. The next award is Most Market Viable. And again, here, I do want to talk about the runner-up. The runner-up was Project Ghost Drive by Cordell Rzuski. And what we loved about your project, by the way, is that we looked at that project and said, you could sell that now, and you could probably pay for your education in a heartbeat. I mean, the idea of having a system that makes flash drives secure and authenticated and is terrific. And the way you talked about it as we all have flash drives sitting around your desk. I've got several, and they've got lots of files on them. To actually have a way to make those things be secure before someone plugged them in was brilliant. And I think absolutely, award or not, you should go and sell that. That's it. The winner did something that was really, really cool. Something that we've been reading about in news lately is this idea increasingly that there is a market out there for digital IP. Things that you would normally go to the store and buy, such as art. Now artists are creating them in digital spaces, and you can purchase them for use in that way. And so that is why actually Custom 3D, Alina Ayovita's project, was so intriguing. Not only was your project beautiful to look at, I mean, the way you created, fabrics and dresses that, looked like something you'd want to put on your avatars. The way you thought through the fact that once you bought a design, you could customize it with a wide array was an interesting and new idea, which I could see as taking advantage of a digital medium in a way that physical medium doesn't work. Plus the fact that you've already got it up there and you're selling it. It was a complete package, and obviously it's market viable because you're already doing it. So congratulations, Alana. That was a terrific piece of work. Now the next is the Viewer's Choice Award. This is the award that was voted on by everybody who watched the SIP Fair. And this is the one that broadly caught everybody's attention. And this year's winner, what I think people saw in this project, what we talked about in the room, is that here was a SIP project that had so many pieces at play. This was a project that maybe did a better job of doing market research and intellectual research and studies research in advance to create something that people valued and also resonated. The winner of this is Booklight with a Brain, Amanda Gross. And the thing about this project that was so cool is that you built something that, you know, if you're a parent or as those of us who are spending the last 14 months in a digital space, we think about is how can we break away and make sure that we're keeping the traditions of things that maybe are less digital in play. And you did this with a solution for a booklight that had an IoT component to it, was very marketable, was based on some very good research on how learning and young adult development plays out. And you built a model that worked. And again, this is something that we all looked at and said, yeah, you should take this to market. This has legs and it's really cool. You know, and it's something that I resonated with me as a number of times I talk to people who say, I do tech all the time, but when I read a book as an adult, I like paper. And you can talk to our professor Bellinger about that. He's very passionate on this topic. And so, you know, so Amanda, beautiful work, really well executed. I can see why you won the Viewer's Choice Award. Now, the next award is the World Changer. And what this award is about is this represents a technology that really, like the title suggests, you know, kind of represents what the future could look like in tech, and actually is really, you know, kind of grabbing something that is practical, but yet brings in all these new technologies that we play with and into an application that you go, yeah, you know what, in the future, this is the way we may do this. In this situation, what caught our attention was the fact that in this application, you involve steganography, the ability to embed pictures as a password piece. The ability, you created a front end with an application that looked professional, had a really attractive UI that I would expect to be something that if I purchased it, I would get. And the actual means of making it work was something that was very clever. The idea that you place the cryptography embedded somewhere in somebody's pictures library, and you would know as the person which picture had the passwords hidden, but no one else would be able to know. We all got millions of pictures. So Project Logbox by Danny Gazelle, Project Logbox by Danny Gazelle, that was really an impressive technology. And we really saw this as something that you roll forward 5 years, what you thought of in this presentation and this project is something could be just the way we do it. It certainly, you know, links our brains maybe more actively than just the kind of, you know, random numbers and symbols that we use for keeping our passwords secure now. So Danny, congratulations. That was really, really well done. And I'll say you're one of the few students who have used a steganography approach in a SIP, and we loved that. So congratulations. Now, the next prize is what we call the Ingenuity Prize. And what the Ingenuity Prize is this idea that in every show, there is usually some project that is just flat out creative. And, you know, maybe it's not market ready right now. Maybe it's not, you know, these other categories, but there's something about it that is like, wow, I've never seen that before. I've never thought of that before. And it is just this, you know, exhibition of creativity. And this year there was a perfect example of that. You know, we saw a project this year that in the game landscape, you know, there's a lot of rehashings and fine tunings of all the game, you know, styles we know, first person shooters, side scrollers, puzzlers, MMOs, whatever. But this was completely different. You know, you created a game idea where as part of the puzzle solving and the progress through the game involved rearranging the limbs of your character as a means of making yourself stronger and moving forward. And while the graphics were a little primitive, you know, while you gave that presentation, we could all see how this could represent a kind of whimsy and a new style of gaming that if you put it out there, you know, it certainly feels like the kind of a game approach or game itself that would win an indie game prize, or someone would write a casual game that would just be clever and would pop to the top of any kind of an app store list, just because, you know, like who wouldn't want to throw your head as a projectile, you know, or say, you know what, I need an extra reach. I don't need both my legs right now. Incredible stuff. And so, you know, Helter Skelter by Jonathan Sherwood, absolutely, that was a terrific piece of ingenuity. Really, really, really well done. So congratulations. Now our last prize, our very last prize is the Best in Show prize. And this represents what the judges view as the top tier. You know, this was the complete piece. This represents the head and shoulders above everything else kind of project. And, you know, this year's Best in Show winner involved, you know, AI it involved security, it involved a practical application, it involved research, it involved actually having a pathway to solving a real problem. And it was Project TechHound by Alejandro Salas. Your project, which took something that you experienced personally, which was, you're observing, traffic backlogs, and you're trying to figure out how can we use AI to make this better. And you worked that through to completion and did physical testing and engaged with local authorities on how that could be implemented. That is a level of thoroughness that is just, it mirrors almost completely, what you're going to do in the road, and it's like, down the road professionally. And it's the kind of thing that, all of us were watching, we just felt such pride, because I'm like, you could have been presenting that as, by the way, as an alumni, and saying, here's the job, a project I took on, and I did this thing, and it changed, it changed the community and made it better. And in talking to the professors who've worked with you, your enthusiasm, your thoroughness, the energy you put behind everything you do that led up to this is just absolutely impressive. And so, we're very, very proud of you, Alejandro. It's terrific work, and TechHound is very, very worthy of Best in Show. And so there you go, everybody. Let's get a round of applause for all of these winners. And I do want to close out once again by just expressing my appreciation to Professor Dabzuri and Kathleen for all you do with shepherding the students through the SIP process. I've watched these for years and years and years, and you have elevated this entire experience to the point now where culturally it lives at such a high bar that now when we read the Discord channels, we see students who are brand new students going, wow, is that what this is about? What have I got to do? And I'm seeing the enthusiasm and the gears turning, so that because of what you're doing today, these students had great presentations, but also the students a year from now, the two of you created the kind of the nursery seed for something that's going to be amazing in the future. So thank you very, very much. And everybody, thank you for what you've done for this journey, and I'll turn it back over to Brandy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bowman. Congratulations, everybody. Yes, you can do another round of applause. So our next award is the Virtual Citizenship Award. And the Virtual Citizenship Award is intended to recognize students who go above and beyond in a virtual capacity, supporting peers in an online classroom, in an online or virtual space. You don't necessarily have the same privileges as you do in the Commons to ask another student questions, comment on projects, turn around and just say, hey, good job, I really like what you just did. So the Virtual Citizenship Award is to recognize the student that goes above and beyond in the virtual capacity to support them, to support their peers, as well as anybody in the community. So this semester's Virtual Citizenship Award goes to Devin Caballero Zarate. Devin is a passionate individual who is constantly striving to support his peers in his community. Recently, as a network security student, he was trained to spot potential threats to a system. And recently, Devin actually recognized what he believed to be criminal activity that was occurring and involving a minor. He worked quickly to gather as much information as he could. He worked with UAT's esteemed faculty to determine if the virtual situation was truly criminal or not. And we cannot say too much, as it's still an open criminal investigation, but Devin's knowledge and skills demonstrated vigilance and showed a true passion for protecting his community. So thank you, Devin, and congratulations. Our next award is the Brook Casey Legacy Leadership Award. Brook Casey was a UAT student who excelled during her time here at UAT. She was a perfect example of what a member of UAT student community should be: driven, friendly, involved, always happy to help a lending hand, and to her fellow students. To honor her legacy and her memory, the Brook Casey Legacy Leadership Award is awarded once per term to a student who emulates Brook and all of the traits of a great member of the UAT family. So this semester, the Brook Casey Legacy Leadership Award goes to Candy Alexander. Candy, if you know Candy, you often see her around campus. She's always got a smile on her face. She's always cheerful. She's always happy, excited to help and provide her insight as to what's happening or where students or people need to go. She's coordinating events. She's bringing more cultural awareness to campus through monthly culture events or culture weeks. And so thank you, Candy, for being a resource during the pandemic when people were off campus, for students, for staff, anybody at UAT. Your time here has been amazing and we appreciate all that you do. So now it's time to turn it over to Dean Alley for the Mama Duck Award. Alley?
Thank you, Brandy. Before I have the opportunity to present my favorite award of the term, I did want everyone to give a big round of applause to Brandy Beals for putting this all together and facilitating term over term. Her efforts do not go unnoticed, so thank you, Brandy. I'm not a loud clapper, but I did clap. So Mama Duck, for those of you that are new or don't know or need a reminder, because I think it's important, just to historically let you guys know, this is an award that is delivered each term to faculty. It is so hard to choose, and the recipient is always one that, again, goes above and beyond expectations, both inside and outside of the classroom. Our spring recipient is someone who consistently is going above and beyond to support the students, both inside of the UAT classroom, within the studios, within the labs, also within the community. A big component of this recipient's character is the time and effort, again, that does not go unnoticed, and the gift of time that's given back to the community and our younger and hopefully future generation of UAT students. This faculty member is a true example of what we mean at UAT when we say our faculty are coaches and mentors to our students and to each other. His students recognize him not only for being a subject matter expert, but also for compassion, willingness to always help out, and for the passion that is brought to every class that is facilitated, no matter the modality, no matter the level. I am proud to announce on behalf of Lindsay, Carla, and myself, and all of academics, Dr. Mark Smith is Spring 2021's recipient of the Mama Duck Award. So Mark, congratulations. Thank you for all that you do. This is long overdue, and we are so extremely proud of you.
Thank you, Allie, and congratulations, Dr. Mark. So the UAT Family Values Award is a new award that we added to the agenda, intended to celebrate a staff member who embodies the UAT values throughout each semester. This person is fast, fun, friendly, smart, takes ownership and pride in their work. So to announce the winner of the Spring 2021 UAT Family Values Award is Mr. Robert Walker.
Thank you, Brandy. As Brandy mentioned, this Family Values Award is the newest award that we're going to give to staff each and every term. First, I want to break down that family word. The word family came into the English vocabulary in the 15th century. Its root lies in the Latin word familius, which means servant. And this recipient has served the university in a variety of ways, capacities, as an admissions advisor, as an enrollment advisor, as a faculty member, and a lot of other roles in between. He shares his knowledge with each and every new admissions or enrollment advisor because he has so much wisdom to give, because he's not only a UAT family member, but he's a UAT alumnus as well. The spring term in this past year hasn't been easy. And this specific recipient has not only been working fervently to make sure that UAT's family increases, but he also leads the recruitment team in enrollments and goes out of his way to not only preach his own successes, but everyone else. He is the first person in the email chain to say, congratulations, good job. Or when the work week ends, he goes over and says, everyone, have a good weekend. We're going to start this again next week. He is the epitome of hard work pays off. And it's about time he received his long due flowers for all of his hard work in bolstering for not only the traditional admissions team and enrollment team, the recruitment team, but the whole university. The first recipient of our UAT Family Values, consider the Heisman for the UAT staff. Please take yourself off of mute and give a rousing applause to the family member that puts the L in family, Stephen Campbell.
Yay, Stephen.
Congratulations, Stephen. Thank you for all that you do for UAT, for our students, for other staff and faculty, and just overall, all of your contributions. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. That concludes the awards ceremony for this semester. Join us next semester for lots of fun and exciting, more jams, more projects, more innovations. It's going to be a good time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.